Good evening, everybody. Afternoon, I guess, if you're out on the West Coast. Hope everybody's having a pleasant Monday. I was thinking about streaming today anyway. And then Firaxis dropped a pretty big Civ 7 news update that's talking about the immediate future of the game. And so kind of figured what better thing to talk about than that before we continue our campaign. But yeah, like I said, hope everyone's doing well out there. Hope everyone in Minneapolis is safe. Mandatory fuck ice on the stream here, as you would expect. So yeah, let's dig into this, and then we'll crack into the game, and we'll see if we can do all this before we have to record the podcast tonight, because of course we're doing that a little bit later. So yeah, like I said, Firaxis put out a YouTube video, which I'm just going to pull up on the screen here. Probably be the easiest way to do it. And we'll just let's take a look at this, and I'll kind of pause and kind of throw in my commentary along the way here. So, and obviously, just let me know about the volume if it's too loud, or if you need more of the YouTube and not as we go through. So, yeah, let's take a look at this.
With Civ 7, our goal was to deliver a more dynamic empire building experience, where your civilization evolves and reinvents itself over time. That goal is still true, but we also know that for many, a defining part of the Civ fantasy is to lead a single Civ from start to finish. So with the Test of Time update, we're making that possible. This will not be a new game mode, but instead an optional new layer for your strategy. When creating a game, you can now choose to play as any Civ in any age, giving you a ton more options for how to set up your strategy. And once your campaign begins, you now have a new option during the age transition process. You can still select a new.
So I will say, when they've been talking about putting in the ability to play as the same Civ throughout the whole game for the last couple months, because that was when the game first came out. Like, that was one of the big controversial features about it, is the fact that there's a lot of people that are like, hey, like, this is the Civ to me, having to do these age transitions and yada yada. They've been talking about putting this in for a while. I was really worried when they did put it in that it would just kind of be not as well thought, I guess. And or that they kind of lock you in, like you have to decide at the beginning of the game whether you're sticking with the Civ through the whole way through. The way that they appear to be implementing this, where you can start with any Civ you want to, and then each age you get to choose whether or not you stay or whether or not you move on to a new civilization, I think is a really smart way to do it. So I'm glad that they're taking this approach, and there's some other cool stuff that they talk about as we go on through this.
During an age transition, as you do today, or you can choose to stay with your current Civ and continue your campaign. There are a lot of design implications for this change. So to make this feel balanced and rewarding, we're testing some new gameplay concept. Every Civ has an apex age, where they are at the height of their power and have access to their full, unique kit. If you choose to play a Civ outside its apex age, you'll gain access to a new, age-appropriate civics tree and a new tool called syncretism. Syncretism allows you to study the ways of other cultures and adopt the unique units or infrastructure of a completely different civilization while maintaining your core identity.
So that part's really fucking cool, I think, is the fact that, because that was the concern, right? Is that, like, the civilizations are built for the eras in which you can select them currently. So, like, in the example they're using here, you know, if you're going to be America's a modern age Civ, it has perks and abilities that are specifically catered to the modern age. And so, obviously, if you're going to let them be used in antiquity, if you're going to let them be used in exploration, you can't just take those perks and just graft them on to those other eras without completely upsetting the balance of the game or making some of the perks useless, because, like, some of the the America perks, for example, are very unique. So being able to kind of pick a bonus from a Civ that you're not using, I think, is a really interesting way to still make your progress feel unique and also potentially create some really interesting, like, building strategies throughout the game. So this is very fucking cool in my eyes. I think this is a great way to handle it, what they're doing here. And my understanding is that because they did like a closed playtest with some folks that signed up. My understanding is that you don't have like free reign over the other civilizations in the later ages. Like you have to, like it kind of works like it does today, where the abilities that you unlock or that you can unlock are specifically tied to the civs that you unlocked through gameplay. So like if you don't do something that would unlock access to that civilization in a later age anyway, you wouldn't be able to pull in their units or pull in the infrastructure that they have. So that's pretty nifty, I think.
This leads to some really interesting civ builds and unlocks fun new strategic gameplay. The civ community has spoken. Victories in their current state feel too procedural and disconnected from the core civ fantasy. So we're overhauling the system with replayability at the forefront. Now, your path to military, economic, cultural, or scientific victory begins in the Antiquity Age, and you win by establishing.
So this is enormous, because right now, I think most people that enjoy the game even would tell you that like modern, for example, is the lamest era, because you're literally just trying to go for this bespoke victory goal that they have in place. That also has nothing to do with anything that you did prior. Like just using the current game as an example, let's say that you are going down an economic path, right? And this ties in because they talk about they're completely wiping the legacy path system away, which I think is probably for the better. But let's say you're chasing economy the entire game, right? So in Antiquity, economy is all about getting access and slotting in resources. So you do that, that's great, fantastic. But then when you get to exploration, economy is all about settling in distant lands and shipping in like exotic resources to your homeland civilizations, which really doesn't have much to do. Like everything you did in Antiquity doesn't matter when you get to exploration, because the resources that you have don't necessarily make a difference. They can, with some civilizations, like special abilities that are out there that let you get treasure resources from homeland stuff, but generally it does not. So this is very cool. It links the ages together in a way that's not currently existing in the game, and it makes the stuff that you did early in the game matter as much as the things that you do later in the game as well. I am still curious about science, because the other three make a lot of sense, because I know that like in economic, for example, it's combining resources that you slot plus resources that you ship from treasure and stuff like that, plus some other things. Factories, I think, also factor into this as well when you get to the modern era. Science has always been like a space race in civilization games, so I'm going to be curious to see how they handle that. It looks like that they're doing it based on what technologies you research. I guess there's going to be techs in the tech tree throughout all of the ages that have specific, like, this is a science, this is a math tech, this is a space technology, that sort of thing, which again does make sense. It gives you a reason to focus on specific technologies as opposed to just filling the tree out completely, which is kind of how science works today in the way that the game proceeds. So.
Dominance over a wide range of activities, not a simple age-by-age checklist. Whether you're combining wonders and great works for culture, or mastering gold buildings and treasure fleets for an economic win, the goal is to make sure your win is a direct result of the interesting choices you make throughout a campaign. We've heard your feedback that your journey in Civ 7 can sometimes feel a bit too on rails. To fix that, we're completely replacing legacy paths with a brand new system called Triumphs. Triumphs are tied to the.
This makes so much sense. it's actually silly. So it looks like that this is replacing the legacy path system and the bonus choosing system that happens at the beginning of each age. So like I said, this is pretty neat.
6 core attributes like scientific, expansionist, diplomatic, and offer a wide range of optional but challenging objectives. Completing these won't just mark your progress, They'll reward you with instant bonuses or strategic rewards to help shape your empire in the next age. You'll trigger some triumphs through normal strong play, like reaching 200 population or being the first to build a university. While to achieve others, you'll have to veer onto a less traveled path, such as being at war with every other player or aggressively claiming most of the natural wonders. It's all about giving you the tools to pivot your strategy whenever you see an opportunity. This
is cool for a lot of reasons. So the first thing is that it lets you, obviously gives you more options, right? Like you have a lot of things that you can chase in the game. You don't necessarily have to pigeonhole yourself to a couple of things, which is how the legacy paths work now. Like again, if I want to pursue an economic legacy in a specific age, and let's just say antiquity, I'm vacuuming up resources, right? That's all that I'm concentrated on doing. Now it looks like, hey, like, sure, like we can do resources as one thing, but there's also other things that we can focus on as well, to pursue an economic victory path. So like that's pretty nifty. I think this is especially going to be useful for military, because I've never liked how military works in the Civilization games that I played, because it literally is just, hey, go conquer as many settlements as you possibly can. And Civ 7 took a step in the right direction, I think, because now it's kind of focused on like, hey, like conquer civilization or conquer settlements, but do it in certain areas or against certain opponents or things like that. I think being able to have a lot of different targets, like, because, for example, one of the things that Ed mentions here is like, hey, there's going to be a triumph for having like a certain number of natural wonders. Well, if you don't settle by those naturally, you can send like your military out, so that instead of like, hey, like I'm just going to try to take over random settlements, like, hey, like I know I'm going to take over these settlements that have these natural wonders in them because I need that to advance my victory. So that's pretty cool. Also very cool is that it gives purpose to diplomacy and expansion in the game that's currently not really there, or at least that's specific towards those things, and doesn't instead of just supporting existing play. It would be cool to see if they could somehow work in diplomacy into one of the victory conditions. I'm not sure how that would work, but they did it in 6, so they could do it here in theory.
Massive shift in how the game feels, and we've included a lot more context and deep dive logic in the full anniversary article going live with this video. I really encourage you to head over there to see more details around the vision for all these features.
Cool. And then this is talking about the update. There's an update coming up
Okay,
tomorrow.
now
So
let's dive into
what this is
update
related to.
132, which will be going live very soon. As always, these are just the highlights. You can find the full details in the patch notes when the update does go live. First, we're rolling out nested tooltips across production menus.
Something that should have been there from the start.
To better access to key information right when you need it.
Something that should have been in the game from Jump Street.
Expect more updates that expand nested tooltips to additional areas of the game. As part of our continuing balance adjustments, we're delivering reworks and buffs for several civilizations, including the French, the Mughal, and Dai Viet empires. We're also deploying a set of targeted system updates. First, AI diplomacy biases have been adjusted to better align AI behavior with each leader's intended personality. Second, coastal raids have been reworked to function more like naval pillaging, bringing them in line with the new systems we've introduced over the last few updates. And third, we're introducing a new appeal lens. This lets you instantly see how appealing any tile is, so you know exactly where to build to net the most happiness for your empire.
They're also adding Gilgamesh to the game, so this is obviously less like the tooltips is the biggest thing. That's something that again should have been in there from the start of the game. It should help newer players understand what's going on. So yeah, like this new update is very the big one that's supposed to be coming out in the spring. That's a very exciting update. I did check out some of the comments like on Reddit and some of the comments on YouTube underneath this video, and it is probably the most positive that I've seen in the comment section on a Civilization game in quite some time. Like I literally have not seen this much positivity from the comment section. Not that you should ever read the comment section. I mean, I'm sure that they do, because that's their job to do that. But so encouraging. Again, Civ 7's a game that I've liked a lot since it has come out, and I think that this will make it even better. And I think that this hopefully should solve for is the wrong word, but it should get a lot of people who have been reticent about the game or who have not been enjoying the game as much to maybe enjoy a little bit more than they have been, because it addresses a lot of the things that the community has been asking for. And again, more to the point is I'm glad that the way that they're implementing some of these things is really well thought out, and makes sense in the game that they have made, so that they're not completely upending like the age system and stuff like that, which I don't think they should, because I think the age system is very cool and kind of unique to how Civilization works. So I'm pretty excited for this update. I can't wait to see more, and I'm sure I'll be playing it on here a little bit. So let's continue our campaign though. Let me switch over here. I think I need to just make sure that the game is looking for Civilization. There she is. And you guys should be able to hear that now. Again, let me know about volume once we actually get into the game. But yeah, let's continue our campaign. Where last we left, we navigated successfully through antiquity into the exploration age now. And I kind of had to have an idea on how I want to play this. We chose the Icelandic civ for this age, so we're gonna be spreading the gospel, but we're also gonna be researching some masteries in tech and in culture to get some relics.
From the
So
rugged north, the Icelanders burst forth on dragon-headed ships with Odin on their side.
so game plan here. Let's see here. We get a big culture boost when we discover natural wonders, so we're going to want to get scouts on the other continents as fast as we possibly can, and then again civic masteries once we get the was that land Namabak. I'm going to butcher pronunciations throughout the game. Once we get that civ or that civic researched, we should be good to go there. So and then we want celebrations just so we can get some nice drip flow of culture there as well. So we got to make sure that everyone is happy. All right. I remember very little because this was 2 weeks ago that we played this. So let's take a look here. So basically, we want to research cartography right away so we can get a scout from here onto this continent. We can also go south as well. There's probably land down here that we have not found yet. So yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look at our legacy paths first, though. Okie dokie. So we didn't do as much as I would have liked to with wonders. I think we had 4 total last age, so that's not going to be a very big boost. Trading culture for science is not bad, and this is also the first time that I've ever seen civ or leader unique legacy paths, which is pretty cool. I wonder if that's new, or I wonder if this is just from leveling up Lafayette as much as we have. So we can either get a big boost to culture, sacrificing science, or we can get extra influence, but we get hampered with combat strength for our naval units, which I'm not too plussed about. I'd like to avoid fighting as much as I possibly can, but I think taking culture in exchange for science is pretty cool. Well, we could do both actually, because that was only one culture point. Yeah, like diplomacy's solid for us here as well. Militarily, like, let's go for expansionism because we're going to need to set up shop over on the other continent there. For economics, we didn't do very much trading, so we'll just take 2 points there. And then, let's see here. +1 science for every codex. That could negate some of our science loss that we're going to be eating here. +8 is okay. I wish, and let's see, as far as, I think we might want to put Tabai as the capital. That's probably a good idea there. You know what? Let's just take the attribute points. I think we can probably do more with that. And then we'll take a cultural attribute point as well. So let's go ahead and allocate those. All right, so that's solid. +20 right now. We're going to be doing civic masteries anyway, so that's going to be a good place to go with that. Training settlers, fantastic. +14 science, and then constructing buildings is probably where we'll take there. So all good on the legacy path piece. We know we want... Do we want cartography or do we want astronomy? Which is the one that lets your other units depart? I think it's cartography. Yeah. So we definitely want to start with that. So with civics, we want this guy as fast as possible, and we're going to get it in 1 turn. That seems unlikely. Okay. I did not realize that that unlocked right away. I thought we were going to have to grind that out a little bit. So that rules. Endeavors, we want a bonus there, and then we can try to do some vassaling in this age. I don't know that there's going to be much on this continent, but hey, look, we have a cultural independent people, so let's go ahead and start befriending them. With resources, we're actually going to want to put both silk in Athens here. And actually, we want to bump up Athens' capacity a little bit as well. Like I said, we'll take the... We're in a pretty good spot with gold, so we'll take the science output. And for our capital, we just want to juice up some production here. Not too worried about growth. We are also going to want to... Actually, let's do this first. We do want to probably make Mykeene back into a city. We have 7 settlements right now. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And then Kenosis, we can afford to do that, but I think we're better off just kind of waiting for right now on that. What we can do here is we can probably make this a mining town. Or we want to do resort town because we do have that. We do have the natural wonder in there. That will bump up our happiness quite a bit. Yeah, because we want celebrations. So let's go and do that. We're probably going to turn that into a city eventually. And then... yeah, just +5 happiness is fine. It doesn't really matter where that goes. Actually, it might matter. Let me put that there in Kenosis. And then we'll let these 2 towns grow a little bit. So Mykeene is a city. Corinthus is... Are we happy with that? At its current size, +8 food, 12 mining. We might need to do religious sites. We'll let that roll for right now. Argos is not very helpful at this moment. It's going to take a long time to grow. I'd rather just take the gold, so we'll go ahead and make that into a mining town. And then, what are we looking at here? 18 turns. We can still afford to grow those guys a little bit. All right, so there's that. Let's make sure that our ship is starting to explore. So we'll go ahead and take that there. far as our commanders go, that guy's not carrying any units, neither is that. So let's move this guy. Let's have some presence here, because we'll see if things turn with Ada Lovelace, but she's doing okay right now. And then, yeah, let's just start producing. Alright, let's start trade routes here. We need the production from this stone cutter. Put that in their granary. Yeah, same here for Myking. I don't want to put that in the city center. The library. And then, yeah, everybody else is gonna hang out for now. Like I said, we don't want to do too much with military if we can help it. We want enough to defend ourselves in case anyone gives us any trouble.
With law, our land will rise, and with lawlessness, it will perish.
All right, so we get our unique improvement here, which does help in floodplains especially. Also lets us do the saga heroes, so we might want to switch to that with some of these settlements here. Yeah. That rules. And let's go ahead and trade this out for our Viking ability here, because we're going to probably want to make some ships. So we can get some culture back by doing that. All right. All buildings gain a +1 cultural and production adjacency from volcanoes and natural wonders. That'll work. And then we'll worry about getting a religion after that. Hell yeah, we're doing a theocracy. Okay, so as far as resources go, I think we're going to start with Parsa, just so we can really beef up how much culture that we're producing here. And we have already met a new civ over here. It is Napoleon.
Je suis Napoléon. Sur cette terre pour déterminer le sort du monde.
We're not going to spend any influence on you, buddy. I will, however, get us started off on the right foot, because he likes culture, and so do I. So let's go ahead and do some culture with him. And we can also talk to our buddy Genghis Khan and hold an Olympics. And Genghis Khan also wants to do a farmer's market. I will take the money from that. I don't feel like spending the influence on that. I want to hang on to some of that. You know, if I was smart, I would have asked Ada Lovelace for open borders, so I don't have to eat damage as I'm sending my guy through here. So, oh well. Alright, and then for the other trade route, I think we're going to want to stick with our buddy Genghis Khan. So we're going to need to up that relationship as well. Okay. Alright, so we have a couple folks here. Now the thing is that this looks like it is not technically a distant land continent. It's the same continent that we started on here. So, oh, it's because it's just a tiny little isle. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and heal our ship. I'm gonna leave these guys alone. And let's see here. We do want that civic. I think we also want to get a ship built here. I don't want to wait. Actually, they're about to be done producing that. How much is that? 520. I'll take that just to get a jump start there. And then we do need to establish a religion. Not too worried about coastal raiding quite yet. And I'm not too worried about getting the Reykjavik. Again, I'm going to pronounce that. I'm going to pronounce every Icelandic word that the game throws at me just as horribly as I possibly can. So, not my intention. Okay. And yes, so we can do our trade. And let's go ahead and move this cavalry so that we can just keep bumping up the culture bonus here in Athens. Can this be placed in a? Can this be placed in a town? Let's find out. Oh, I can't build that in my key. All right, harbor's not very helpful. Could be later if we decide to actually expand out into the ocean. The ocean, hun. And we have one more merchant. Actually, while I'm thinking about this, let's improve our trade relations with Genghis Khan so that we can finish the trade route that we're going on there. And yeah, man, gotta tell you, I think old Genghis is going to be our main trading partner right now. We're gonna have to wait, but to improve that again. But let's just go ahead and send him down there. And then as far as our ship goes, let's just start sailing south. See what we find. Genghis Khan would love to approve our trade relations, and I would love 60 gold. I appreciate that very much. All right, that takes care of that. And we'll just toss this happiness bonus into a town. And let's do our improved trade relations just before we forget about that. All right. So our army commander has been relocated. We'll go ahead and just park him here for right now. And we're going to want to put another ship together here. So let's build another Vikinger. We still have 6 turns for cartography, so we're going to want to get some scouts taken care of soon. While I'm thinking about this as well, let's get open borders from Ada Lovelace so that we can send this guy up here and not have to worry about deep water. Standing upon the law rock, the young law speaker fidgets as he watches the large crowd gather before him. He has spent many months memorizing the law code, carefully trained by his predecessor. His recitation must be precise and accurate, for with law, Iceland rises, and without it, Iceland falls. He takes a deep breath and begins his performance. So we can either make communal laws, which will give us culture, or make scientific laws, which will give us science. I'm actually going to take the science here, just because you can see we're only producing 47 science. This is 6 turns worth of science, and that'll help us get cartography immediately. So we'll definitely take that. And as such, let's go ahead and get a, well, we'll have to wait till next turn, but we're going to get a scout built here in Kwaiji, and we probably should do the same in Mykeene as well. So let's do that. And do I want to build a ship in Corinthus? Because what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to send one ship down to the left of this island and then head out to the ocean that way, and send another one to the right here. So we are going to need another boat, but I think we do it. I think we do it next turn in Mykeene. I think that's the way. All right, so the I guess that's Pingstader can be built multiple times, which will help quite a bit with our culture. I think we can also get a cheap brickyard. Doesn't look like there's too, well, there's about the same amount of well, oh, those are already developed mines and wood camps. Okay, so if I'm looking outside, there's not as many more forests, so I think a brickyard is going to be the way to go here, just to get a little extra production boost. We'll expand that out there. And then as far as the next technology goes, we definitely want guilds.
I take refuge in the Buddha.
Right.
I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in...
And we can do a religion now. Alright, so we can either go with inspiration, which will certainly help us. Also gets us access to a wonder. That can give us a hand. Actually, I think that's probably a huge one to go for there, just because we are going to need space to put our relics. Alright, we're not too worried about growth in Athens. We do need to build a temple, though, in order to get religion. I actually just might drop a temple. This is a fantastic location that will probably replace the library, actually. So we'll be able to do our religion now, and then... You know, it's not optimal, but I can't help myself. When we get these great people, when we have an option to train those guys up, I love doing it. I love pulling the slot machine lever to see what we get. Let's do a temple here as well. We're not gonna slam that one though. We'll just build that normally. All right, so we can make a religion. Let's see here. I mean, I know what religion I'm going to make. I mean, you know, if you guys in the chat want to suggest any fun religion names to put in here, we can. I hate using the existing ones. It's no fun to me. But if we don't have anything fun, we're just going with spreading the atheism throughout the land, which is always my preferred choice. All right, so conversion to capital city is usually how I like to go, but since we haven't met a lot of other civs yet, that's not going to be a fantastic choice in order to get relics. Temple or altar, not as confident about. Well, how much religion was happening last round? Yeah, it was really just me. I mean, Napoleon did, but we haven't seen a whole lot of Napoleon's realm yet. So I'm a little skeptical to start with that. Settlement from a wonder. There wasn't a lot of wonders going on our continent. First time in distant lands. Treasure convoys I hate doing, especially this early. +1 relic for the conversion of their settlement with 10 rural population. Might take a look around while we're doing that. It looks like Genghis Khan has a lot of urban population. So I think that this might actually be a good one to roll with. +1 relic for first time conversion of one of your cities. That would be 4 off the top, because I'm planning on making one more. 3 specialists, natural wonders, holy city. You know what? Let's go with ecclesiasticism. Let's do urban populations. We're not going to be doing as much through religion, hopefully, if we play our cards correctly. And then stewardship is +8 culture, gold, and science for every tile that has a natural wonder and other civilization settlements that are following your religion. That could be good because I'm incentivized to seek out natural wonders anyway. That one gets us gold. +4 culture for every foreign settlement following your religion. I think that one's going to be a safer one to go with. So there is our religion. Let's send our scouts down here. Let's send our ship to the right here. Let's keep him kind of close to the land. Let's go ahead and get another. Oh, we have a ship being built, so all good there. I think we're going to queue up another scout as well. Now, okay, so down here is considered distant land. So this is the continent of Pangaea. So I'm assuming then if this is that, if it's a whole other continent, then this probably spreads out to the right. So we're doing the right thing by heading in that direction. All right, this guy's healthy now. Let's start sending him to the east. Actually, let's divert him back to the, back down that way, and then send this guy down here. All right, so we finished our scout. Vikings got pretty good food income right now. 9 more food does not do a lot for us. That wonder could be enormously helpful for us, actually. Because, again, we're going to be pretty consistently getting relics coming in through our civic masteries. So I think we're going to actually try to get that built. See if we can sneak that in. Stick that over here. And yeah, let's bring a second scout down. So we can see there's a independent settlement down here. They are friendly. I think it might benefit us to actually go ahead and befriend them as well. They are a diplomacy settlement. But you can see we got a ton of empire resources from Napoleon. Right. We are probably just going to be chaining celebrations here. Now this is interesting because what we could do here is we could spend a few turns getting some missionaries happening. And I think that's not a bad idea. All right, so this is a hostile independent power, which are probably going to be ruining my scout's day, which is not what we want. Oh, that's really irritating. I think we're going to have to deal with this. Yeah, so we have a temple here. Let's get a couple missionaries out so we can start spreading the gospel. Okay, so this guy. All right, not a great one right now. He heals units when you activate his special ability. Again, I don't plan on fighting a whole heck of a lot, so that's not really something I need, but, you know, is what it is. All right, move him here. This guy seems like he's, like, marooned or something. Famed musicians have begun lining up at a misanthropic artisan's door. The musical instruments she shapes are from driftwood, are as much of a work of art as the sounds they produce. So we can either listen to the music and get a turn's worth of happiness, or study and get a turn's worth of culture, a little less than a turn's worth of culture. I will take the culture in that case.
Oh, for a muse of fire.
Okay. Great. So let's go ahead and put Renaissance in place here. That'll give us a little boost towards the wonder that we're trying to put together. So we have another distant land settlement here in Australia. Let's go ahead and try and finish off these archers. And we're going to send this fella this way. So we also want to consider setting up a settlement down here, just so that we can explore more efficiently, and also to just get some resources coming in, because there's some decent spots. Unfortunately, our friends that we're trying to befriend over here are sitting on a pretty decent area as far as resources go. I think I might try to take a settlement down this way, but we do need to deal with these guys first before that becomes a problem. And we have met Friedrich II. Not too thrilled having Napoleon and Friedrich be the first two leaders in this era that we've met, because they tend to like to fight a lot. So, two alchemists argue over how to transmute metals into gold. One lectures on the careful combination of the four elements: air, earth, fire, and water. The other shakes his head, confident that the answer lies in a mixture of sulfur and mercury. So we can either study the elements, or we can purchase sulfur and mercury. Again, I'm going to take science wherever I can this age, just because we are going to have trouble generating that with the legacy path that we took. My two besties are fighting again. Genghis Khan, Ada Lovelace went to war. I don't think that's very good for her. She's definitely in a much less favorable position. These are her only three settlements, and if Genghis Khan can get Axum, then she's going to be in a world of hurt. But that's none of my business. All right, so we can gun for theology to try to up our religion. I don't think that's the way to go. I think we want to invest in some Iceland civs. So naval units, pillaging and coastal raiding within 2 tiles is pretty good. And yeah, the bottom track here doesn't really help me at all. So we are going to stick with this, and then we're going to try to get the Reykjavik. Did I already unlock that through? No, that's down here. Okay, so we're gonna try to get to that as fast as possible. Man, these guys are being assholes. Stop shooting arrows at me, my dude. I think I'm gonna probably lose at least one of these ships. All right, so we can send our scout around this way. A journeyman has engineered a more efficient tide mill, taking advantage of the ocean's ever-changing swells to turn incredible grains into market-ready flours. We can distribute his breads, or we can build additional mills. I'll take the food in this case. I don't think production is our problem right now. I do, however, want to see about getting the Halokiwi built? Or is that what we're working on today here? I can't remember. No, we're working on this, right? We're working on the Watsangthong down here. So let's go ahead and get this guy built so we can hopefully get some extra wonder slots happening. Or relic slots, I should say. Alright, Genghis Khan wants me to support the war efforts. I will accept his war effort strength, because that will get me a small little bit of money. And you can go to sleep. We don't need you right now. Boy, this is really irritating. Yeah, I mean, we gotta try to fight them back here. Hopefully they'll back off, and we should probably think about getting another ship in the ocean. I might have to take care of these guys. We'll see what happens with that. All right, our other scouts needs to mosey on along the coast here, and I can finish these dudes off. Excellent. Oh, good. There they are. All right, we're gonna have to clear these guys out as well. They're being a nuisance. All right, we can go ahead and pillage this in a busy workshop. Three brothers have designed a harp-playing automaton from an assortment of precise gears. These skilled engineers are already drawing crowds and royal commissions. We can either examine or we can enshrine. We will examine, because again, we need the science. And Congo Cretan, also a distant continent. So we should probably send a scout that away, which we'll have to do next turn. Alright, as much as I would like to pick up that shipwreck, I need to keep exploring as much as I can, because we need to find some natural wonders.
Master and apprentice love the master in different ways.
Alright, so we can grow here. So we can grow out the sea. What do we have in the city right now? Not much in the way of production buildings. We are kind of locked in here, so we're not going to be able to expand outward anyway. So yeah, let's grow out to sea, and then we can potentially get some extra resources from a harbor. We got another growth here. This is my city. We will take our pelts, though. Alright, we have guilds. I think astronomy is the one to go with here. And we can send our Viking ship that way. How long do I have on open borders with her? We are still good. We are still in good shape. Our endeavors are about to expire. And how are we doing with our friends over here? We are friendly with them and still have a ways to go before we can make them our vassal. Scout did die. That's not surprising. It's annoying. It's not surprising. And then we can finish these guys off, and then I'll have to heal my boat. I need to... Well, as long as I stay on the coast, we should be okay with this one. Okay, that's our endeavors ending. Gotta say, let's re-up with Napoleon. Okay. We do have quite a bit of happiness, so we can afford to take some specialists without penalty here. I think so we can either improve our little fishing district here, or we can improve our Acropolis. Again, culture is king right now. We want as much culture as we can so we can do some cultural masteries. Oh shit, that guy's about to fucking die. Well, that stinks. And hey, is that Xerxes? No, it's Catherine the Great. Okay.
Екатерина Алексеевна, императрица и попечительница искусств. Но вы...
You get none of my influence until I see what your deal is. She likes natural, or no, she likes great works. Oh, her and I are gonna butt heads. So she's probably chasing culture just as much as I am, or going to be. All right, let's start wrecking these fools for daring to attack our scout, who was not hurting anybody, just chilling. Yeah, we lost our boat. Thought that would happen. Napoleon and Friedrich are at odds with one another. We're going to want to get a settler. Oh, we have one in queue. Yeah, I mean, we gotta deal with that problem anyway first. Let's get another nope. I don't want to build a ship. I want to buy a ship. Ada Lovelace would like to do a cultural festival. I would love to do a cultural festival with you. Ada Lovelace. All right, Napoleon and me are getting to be bros, which is good. What is war good for? Absolutely nothing in this game. We can also help. Well, I could help Ada Lovelace take care of these dudes, but I think I'd rather now try to get this shipwreck. And let's start taking care of these jokers. Oh, couple friendly settlements here. They're gonna at least this one's not gonna be happy with me if I set up a settlement over here. All right, Arlas, they're cool. They gave me happiness. I appreciate that. All right, with my keen, again, we're not really we're kind of boxed in over here. It's gonna be hard to go outward anymore, so we might as well go out to sea. I think we do have a woodcutter in this city, though. No, we don't, actually. We have a stonecutter, so we are going to prefer camps over sawmills, so that's a pretty good expansion there. All right, we got our first missionary. I don't know if this is a mod that I have on, or if this is just in the game now, but I do appreciate that they do highlight which cities and which settlements qualify for your religion's different bonuses, basically. So I hope if it's a mod, that I hope the mod gets updated when the new expansion comes out. I know sometimes that can be a little slow in happening. And then this guy needs to get his ass here post haste. So we could keep hammering the settlement, but if we do, these archers are gonna take us out. So let's deal with them first. I don't care if the swordsmen get health back. A band of mariners has been using diving bells to salvage valuable goods and precious materials from a sunken trading ship. So we can explore, get some gold and science, or we can hire the mariners to get production to our capital, which is building a wonder right now. That would be that would be literally, it's 400 production, or to build this. 45 production takes a turn off of that. I think that's probably the smart thing to do. All right, and then these guys are about to get wrecked. All right, somebody has built the Rila Monastery. That stinks. I would have not minded having access to that. All right, archers done. Oh, there's another ship that we probably don't want to tangle with. Ship of strange design founders in the surf. Its broken hull creaking under the pressure of the waves. Perhaps it could be set aright. So we could restore the ship, but that will mean we get no production for 2 turns in our main area, which just gets us a technology boost. We're definitely just going to take the gold in this instance, and then let's get our scout working back over here again. Hey, Ricky, how you doing, man? Happy to see you. Thanks for lurking. Trust me, I am also a lurker in other people's streams. I don't usually, I'm not usually in the comments too terribly much, so I feel you. I'm gonna be really pissed if Catherine is able to sneak that one out from under me. All right, so here is Friedrich's area of town. All right. I'm trying to think where else a good settlement would be. I mean, we need to get our settlement limit raised because I don't feel like taking a happiness penalty. I mean, this ain't bad. This does get us some cheap treasure resources that we can get over here quickly-ish. But I just need somewhere to, be able to launch scouts from and be able to get a little closer. I probably should start scouting. So let's get this guy out. This is really annoying to have to send him this way, but that's fine. I will need to re-up that with Ada Lovelace later, so let's not forget about that.
Let the rain fall according to season.
All right.
And let the frogs cry out in the fields.
Wat Zhang Tong is how I believe that's pronounced.
Eagerly I accepted your sword, neither of battle.
And we also got our new Civic, which I would rather have, because we will be doing some coastal raiding, because we are Vikings, and that's what Vikings do. All right, let's finish these guys off.
The life of the land.
Hey, look at that.
Perpetuated
The
in
extra production we got
righteousness.
from clearing out those that settlement finished off our wonder. By the way, the life of the land is perpetrated in righteousness, or perpetuated in righteousness, according to the Kamehameha. Beautiful. And hey, our friends that we're making over here, they sent us some culture. Thank you for that. We did get a militaristic attribute point as well for clearing out a settlement. Again, I don't want to go into wars if we can avoid it, so I think +5 combat strength against independent powers is going to be the way to go. And let's get our mastery so we can get a relic. Let's go ahead and +20% culture. The meat of poetry. So this is a longer event. Long houses and assemblies and royal courts abroad. Icelandic poetry abounds with its unique language of kennings. Once simple substitutions, wave horse for ships, sifts hair for gold, increase their complexity as skalds, push their craft to new heights. When one produces the dark betrayer of the wood bearer of old walls, the audience concludes that this must refer to either time, the devil, or cat. So I don't know where this goes, so we're gonna just pick whatever sounds the coolest. The dark betrayer of the wood bearer of old walls. I think the devil is too obvious. We're gonna go with time for this one. Okay. So we could do... Oh, we have bonus production left over from that production boost that we got there. So I'm thinking, let's get a cheap missionary out there as much as we can. All right, so we can disperse these folks. It's another 200 production to our capital. The missionary is already done. That's beautiful. So my fear is that the saga heroes are going to be mostly military oriented, which I'm not a fan of. But I also don't need another ping starter, because I don't really need the happiness that bad. Let's build a kiln. Let's build a kiln. Let's expand out to here for that. And then we can take this goody hut. Atop a crag, one engineer has built a windmill. Strong winds help mill raw trees into usable planks. Builders are already clamoring for this high-quality lumber. We can increase the output of the mill to get a production boon, or we can manage the market supply. How much production is 45 production? That's a turn's worth of production. Take the gold in this case. I don't know where I want to head with this ship. I don't know if I want to head south or north. somebody either incorporated an independent power or eliminated them. So I think that we want to get friendly with these guys, because again, when I settle here, if I'm not friends with them, they're going to be a little mad at me. And we don't want that. The Skald shakes his head as he listens to his audience marveling at his kenning. I'm not talking about time. Have you no respect for my craft? See, misunderstood artists have been around since the dawn of time. Plus 250 happiness, minus 62 science. Neither of those things that I needed right now. Ada levels would like to do a research agreement. I do not have the influence to support it. I will go ahead and just let that ride. We do have another missionary ready to rock and roll. We're already sending one down to Axum. Let's send this guy over to Karakorum. And let's convert the people. How many relics do we need? I can never remember. I think it's 12. Yes, 12 relics in order to complete that legacy path. We are going to have to do some more house cleaning because, again, I have a scout coming through this way. I would like him not to get beat up as he's running through. Tell you what, let's go south with this ship because we can have another ship, which actually I'll go ahead and just build straight away. Take this and head southbound, and he can explore the north side of the island. I do hate when hostile independent powers slow my ability to find new places to check out. All right, so we're done there. Let's head over to Parsa. Unfortunately, Genghis Khan is doing some religion stuff, so we will have to work a little harder to convert his population. All right, let's head this way with our ship. This is really irritating because, again, I have my settler that's getting ready to come down. I still don't think I can. Yeah, I can't. I'm not able to move my military units unless I research shipbuilding. Bummer. I think we'll park him and see if they move closer to the coast so that we can potentially attack them. All right, so we scouted this this small continent down here. Where to next for our scouts? Looks like there's some more landmass over here. Let's send him heading that away. There's another relic. We dig that. We are befriending those guys, so we're going to have some vassals this day and age. Another cultural point here. Let's see here. +1 culture from specialists. I only have one specialist right now. I will do the bonus from resources. And yeah, let's get our... Oh, I gotta do both of these in order to get this one. Ew. I was hoping not to have to research on this tree. That's fine. We can do that. Alright. Let's send this guy towards Kyiv. I'm gonna feel really bad doing what I'm gonna do to the settlement of Kyiv, considering current events. A patrolling Navy ship has hauled a castaway up from the brine. The sailor's multi-year hunt for a legendary sea monster ended in failure, but his outsized tales of daring may outlive him. So we can listen to his tales or study the sailor's survival tactics. I think we're better off taking the production right this second. All right. We have our first vassal. Arla's fucks with us. So we can create an embassy. Gives us extra influence. But I don't really plan on doing alliances. Demand tribute sanction. I don't know that I care about that because we're not going to do much in economy. Bonus happiness, not great. 20% influence towards starting endeavors and sanctions is okay. 20% for espionage actions, which we might engage in a little bit later in the round. Or we could just take a quick social policy slot. We are doing celebrations though. I'm not too concerned about that. Let's tell you what, let's do endeavors. Let's do 20% bonus for endeavors and sanctions. Speaking of which, let's keep the happiness train rolling. Okay. I do have lots of gold right now. I think we can slam down a temple. Replace our library? Sure, that's the direction we're headed this game. And then let's get a wharf built. We need to get some population happening in Mykeene a little bit faster than how it is. Speaking of which, so Corintha's still growing at a reasonable rate. We're not gonna convert Knossos into a city until we have our next settlement set up, so that way we can keep a balance. Quiety's still good. Yeah, everything else is in pretty good shape. So. Alright, we built a kiln. Let's build another saga hero, roll the dice with that guy. Alright, I think we can start exploring now. I don't think we need to worry so much about the few folks that are there. Let's get this guy here just as fast as we possibly can. Let's let this fella heal up here. All right. So, even though this is irrigated, or whatever the term is for the land watered, I think we're going to want to go here so that we can pick up all of these resources, including this gold down here. We go here. We can do that silver as well. That's pretty solid. Like I said, I'm not doing too much with treasure resources, but that will get us a fair amount of gold income coming in as we as we deal with that. Did I see Genghis Khan sending a settler down this way? Brother, you better be settling on the bottom of this peninsula down here. Don't be coming for my shit. Another kiln. Yo, if Genghis Khan beats me to that location, I'm gonna be pissed. All right, let's send this missionary to the east. And we're spreading the gospel. Let's flip this dude around this way. We should be pretty close to being done befriending this guy. Yeah, literally next turn. Okay. Alright, Napoleon likes us. That's fine. The power of atheism compels you. Reject your gods. Right. Genghis Khan wants a farmer's market, eh? I'll tell you what, buddy. I don't. Or at least I'm not going to stand in your way, so I'll take your cash. All right. Suzerain bonus, Stonehead. 4 culture, 1 culture for every adjacent Stonehead. Okay. Plus 2 culture on culture buildings, plus 1 culture on temples. And I get a relic. We like that. Free civic. I don't get to choose it though. Or we could do culture on warehouse buildings. Where are we with relics right now? We have 5 relics currently. Do I even have room for more relics at this moment? Oh, I have lots of room for relics. We are making plenty of space for the relics. 17 culture. It's 5% of our current culture yield. It's not terrible, but it's not it's not game breaking. Plus we're gonna build more temples. Matchshop Gaming, I thought it was really cool that they decided to go with like a lot of non-leaders for this one, for the leaders in this game, or I should say not non-leaders, non-heads of state for the leaders in this game. And I thought it was especially cool shit that they picked Harriet Tubman. And Harriet Tubman is a fucking asshole to play against. Like her whole deal is like, if she gets mad with you and she starts a war with you, it's whatever. But if you start a war with her for any reason, you get -5 war support as a penalty. So like when you're playing as her, like the kind of the game plan is just be a dick, knowing that people are going to be reticent to want to fight with you because they're going to be on the back foot if they do it. Very, very cool. I will take artisans here. Those warehouse bonuses can be really good, especially if you focus on warehouse buildings. So I will take that. Fuck, are you kidding me, man? The same fucking boat is gonna ruin my day here? Son of a bitch. And I don't think I can get away from him. All I can do is try to fucking beat him up. He is gonna fucking kill my ship again. What a asshole. I mean, I can't be that upset because, like I said, I was probably gonna blow them up, but you know, it's the principle of the thing. All right. So we can send this gentleman to Kusa. I'm not gonna be able to do both though, am I? He only has 1 charge. It's unfortunate. But yeah, like I said, it's the leaders that they chose for this, I think, were really, really fun. Fun choices. Also, the fact that, again, these are, you know, real people that, and you know, cultural figures, arguably as important, if not more important, to a civilization's history than heads of state, right? Like, we've seen a million versions of the game with fucking Gandhi and Teddy Roosevelt and Abe Lincoln and, you know, all the normal guys. So yeah, put some different people in there. And look, if you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone and piss off racists at the same time, it's a win-win, baby. All right, let's make nice with these guys. Another cultural independent peoples. Let's hope my boat can make it to the coast before it dies a horrible death. All right, so this is Friedrich. We're gonna want to explore to the east here. We should probably do a heal. See, not getting shipbuilding is gonna really fuck us up as we move on through the era here. It's gonna be a big problem. Okay, and my scout was killed. Neat. Awesome. That's fantastic. All right, these guys are chill with us. They sent us some science as a gift. We like that. We have built a saga hero. If we build a serpent mountain, we do get a nice little influx of influence with which is positive. It also gives us passive science. I think we need to keep on the spreading atheism track, though. I think that's what we got to do here. Yeah, we are gonna be really fucked on the science track. Like shipbuilding is probably not happening, unless I steal it from somebody. So that's a big fucking problem. So let's just kind of go with the original game plan here. All right. Jizzly Surson, activate on a military unit. This unit gains the stealth ability, becoming invisible to units that are not in an adjacent tile. Okay. I mean, I guess putting that on an archer is what we want to do. I think I should stop. I think I should stop researching saga heroes. They don't seem to be doing a whole lot for me right this second. All right, excellent. Genghis Khan did not come this way. We will set up Borg, the settlement of Borg. I'm not a big Star Trek guy, so like I don't know what the deal with the Borg is. Oh shit. I just realized if we don't do shipbuilding, we can't do treasure resources either, can we? Or no, did they divorce that from shipbuilding? It does say 8 turns left for treasure convoy. We'll see. You used to not be able to generate treasure convoys until you had shipbuilding researched. I think they may have changed that to make economic path more viable in exploration. Shit, man. Not good. Oh, cool. Okay, we made it to the coast. So we will not lose that ship, at least, unless Kiev comes back down and makes us have a bad time again, which they have been doing. Napoleon would like military aid. I will accept your money, sir. Thank you. I don't understand how that works thematically. They're paying me to give them. Well, I guess it's like I'm sending them technology or something like that. Yeah, keep researching culture, man. Or keep that bonus culture happening. Get our bonus back for endeavors. Do I need to refresh any of my endeavors? Yes, I need to do a cultural festival. Let's keep that going with our main man, Napoleon. Glad to see he does not want to punch us in the face. All right, so let's build another kiln. We will go ahead and take the extra science there. And let's get the Borg on strong footing here. Let us get a fishing quay built. Let us get a granary pop down so we can grow this settlement pretty quickly. And let's get a temple so we can again encourage more people to abandon their faith. And you know what? I'm not as worried about Corinthus developing, so we will encourage the Borg to grow. I'm pretty sure it's Bjorg, but there should be umlauts over that. Catherine the Great would like to denounce me. Well, that's not a fucking surprise. She's mad at me. Yeah, minus 20 from her agenda because I've got relics. And she thinks she should be the only one. Unfortunately, I cannot stop this from happening, so we're just gonna have to fucking deal. The good news is that it does not appear. So that's a settlement of hers right there. She only has 6. I'm assuming she's probably in this region thereabouts, which is also probably why she was warring with Napoleon. Okay. A manor house was abandoned many years ago, and now plants and animals have made it their home. A sapling has finally pierced the roof and reaches for the sky. Study the accidental habitat or linger for a while. Yep, taking the science. Happiness is not our problem right now. Our Vikings are super happy. Alright, let's get some open borders here with Friedrich, because we're going to want to send our ship along this coastline here, which we can actually just go ahead and do right now. Alright, this is also Napoleon. So there's a lot of action happening over here. Alright, Corinthos grows. Let's keep expanding out as much as we can. Let's see here. We can convert Kenosis now to a city. I think that's the wise thing to do in this instance. And is there anything I want to build for them right away? Let's get a stone cutter down. Let's get a nice fat production boost for these guys. We do also need food. So we can build a wharf in a lake. Okay. Okie doke. Let us find some natural wonders, hopefully. Even though that production boost is not nearly as awesome as it was earlier. Like I'm doing okay as far as culture goes. Alright, I'm not really sure what to do with this ship here. Because Catherine's here, she's not going to give me open borders, even though I'm pretty sure that there's an area to her south that I can traverse. Tell you what, let's head that way anyway. Let's see what happens. Alright, Kawaiji's expanding. We could grab some jade. I think that's probably the smart play. So we can get a little bit of a gold boost. We'll take horses so we can keep the treasure resource, the treasure convoys going. Ava Lovelace would like to do Culture Festival. I'm actually going to just accept this. I need to preserve some of my influence for potential problems. Alright, Kawaji can get a focus now. 21 to growth. I don't think there's any... Yeah, I've grabbed all the resources that this settlement can have. Let's see. Resort Town helps a little bit. Fishing Town helps a little bit. None of these are great. No options are fantastic here. How's our capital doing on food? 54 food. That's real slow going. So let's go ahead and roll with that. Let's do a fishing town. No need to bump that anymore. We might end up throwing a temple down there later, but there's no need to do it right now. I've got plenty of space for more relics to come in. So I think we've also met all of the civs for this game as well. We did a I don't remember what size, but I think we did a 6 civ map. So this should be everybody that we need to meet and greet. Napoleon, open your border, sir. Thank you, buddy. Let's move down this river, see if we can maybe spot a wonder. Oh, except his ships are all filling that canal. Is anyone at war right now? No. Nobody is at war right now. Alright, so we got our kiln. Serpent Mound, I'm not feeling it. Not digging it. Could do a bazaar. Guildhall's gonna take a real long time. We do need production. Athens is a little weak in production right now. I'm not loving any of these spots to place it. Really wish there was another production building that I could, or warehouse building that I can slot this next to. We'll just throw it with our market. All right, well, this blows because like I said, I'd like to check out this river to see what's what, but Napoleon has it filled with ships, so we're not going to be able to do anything with that right now. Okie doke. So that is the first step down because we finished our civic that we were working on. We'll just knock that out real quick just to get yet another relic. All right, we can come back down here now. Fuck, come on, man. All right, let's do some converting. All right, that's bad. This is real bad. This guy's about to bite it. Let's send him back to the coast. All right, we do have our new vassal, and these guys are getting close as well. How much do they have to go? 7 turns. Sick. Alright, Athens, let's slot in that specialist. Genghis Khan wants military aid. I will not stand in your way, my friend. Alright, what bonus do we want here? 5% production is probably going to be what wins, but let's see what we got here. Free tech. Maybe that's actually what we should be doing. Or plus 20 science. Well, plus 1 on warehouse buildings. Tell you what, man. I'll take the free technology. I'm gonna be really pissed when it's machinery. Oh, they gave me feudalism. Sick. Thank you. That fucking rocks. Okie dokie. Well, that was a welcome bonus. So now we can just move right into education. Or do we want to do compass? Or do we want to do corporations? Actually, let's see here. That's a science specific. Let's do that mastery first. That's the way to go. All right, let's get our Rakehold built. So that in the, well, do we want it here or do we want it down in my keen? Because in the event that war breaks out, we're gonna need to worry about it down here. Oh, I can't even build it there, so fuck me then, I guess. Let's see here. Yeah, let's just get her down. All right, and then we can send them up to Rouen. Roan? Is that Rouen? Roan? Whatever it is, that's where they're going. And let's keep on exploring up the coast. All right, there we go. So we at least moved inland and got to see more of the map than we normally would have. So good shit. Okay. Let's go here. Let's pillage this goody hut. Rushing waterfall echoes against the vast walls of an underground cave, the spray shimmering in a beam of sunlight. No one has been here in years. Peek behind the waterfall for 300 gold, or observe the rock formation for 150 science. Let's take the science. Uh-oh. Fuck you, Catherine the Great, who stole the Rakehold out from under my eyes. Motherfucker. I was not expecting that to happen. Oh, it sucks. That certainly does stink. All right, my keen's a little low on food and production. Let's expand out to there. The Borg continues to reign. Get a little culture boost happening there. I think it's probably in my interest to also pop some defense there. Okay, cool. So yeah, we do not need shipbuilding to get treasure convoys anymore. Like I said, I could not remember. So that'll be a nice little influx of gold coming to us. All right. Yeah, again, Serpent Mound's still not very helpful. Still not very helpful. However, the guild hall is now considerably more affordable than it was. Put that with our kiln. I think that's a winning move there. Ada Lovelace wants to do a research agreement. She's probably killing everybody in science. Oh no, she's doing poorly. That's right, because she only has 2 settlements now. I guess Genghis Khan did take. He took this one here. Well, sure, I'll help you. It's not going to do much for you. It looks like she's the damn squib in this game, right now. My Keen just finished their kiln. My Keen. Oh, you know what? You know what? Let's get them helping us with the spreading of non-religion. So we are cruising through this age. We're at 23%. I only of the era done. I only need 1, 2, 3, 4 more relics, which we could probably mostly do just from our civics tree. So that's just a teeny tiny little island there. Teeny tiny. We did up our settlement limit, so we could potentially be looking for a place to settle. I don't think we want to fuck with Kyiv anymore. They have been wrecking our shit quite a bit so far. Again, over here would be good, except for the fact that the treasure convoy piece of it doesn't really make a lot of sense. There is some pretty solid resources down here, though, that we could potentially snap up. Let's do that. We'll need to wait till next turn to get a settler from the Borg. All right. Let's uncover the rest of this area. We don't care about the +10 healing for naval units yet. And all right, so now we need to start building some temples because we are out of space for our relics to be displayed. Let's go. We do have plenty of money. So let's go ahead and build one in Kuaiji. Let's build one in Argos. And that'll be good for now. All right. 2 milestones down. All right. Let us start working up the civics tree. How much do I care about advancing theology is also a good question that we should explore here. So that'll get us a relic. That'll let us convert. I'm not too worried about converting population. Not too worried about my own cities being my religion or not. Actually, you know what? Let's get evangelism first. And then we'll go from there. Go ahead and build a temple in Kenosis as well. That means we should have enough space to be able to display all of the relics that we need in order to complete the legacy path.
Shiva is silence.
Hello.
Without color, taste, smell, that is beyond word or tongue.
Fat little assortment of culture there. Take that. All right. So we've explored this coastline almost entirely. The only thing to do is to come around and down, but that doesn't look like that's happening. So let's regroup. And with this guy, again, we're going to hit the western continent somewhere down there. Let's see if we can suss out where the coast is so we can keep the ship damage to a minimum.
By knowing things in their true nature.
Gotta fix our harbor. Someone is spying on us. Ah. Napoleon stealing government secrets, is he? Alright. As someone who often spies on their friends in this game, I don't blame him. Speaking of which, we should probably make Catherine even more upset with us, because she is the most technologically advanced civilization, and I am going to need technology. So let's spy on her. Let us... I don't have counter spy yet. Okay. Let's keep Napoleon on side, though. That's cool. And I can't forget that we do have reform from Lafayette. I did not remember that was there. Alright, newly founded towns in distant lands, no. +2 movement for missionaries when embarked. Plus extra movement for naval units. That's not bad. Converted settlement, we're not conquering anything. Trade routes established. My religion, don't care. Missionaries gain +1 charge. That might be useful. +10. Ooh, +10 production towards training missionaries for every relic. That's the one. That's the one. All right. Yeah, that's huge. That's enormous. Matter of fact, let's start getting as many of those guys happening as we can. All right. Let's hope that this is the way to the coastline. So I gotta say, so far we are just absolutely fucking crushing it in this age. Far cry from antiquity. Like we need more temples. More temples. We have so many religious relics to display. Whereas since we're spreading atheism, we'll just call them, you know, probably useful gadgets and shit like that. Right. This guy can head down towards a Madrid. All right, let's see what we got here. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just keep clearing out camps because I could definitely... I'll take the production. Who do we got here? Napoleon and Friedrich fighting. You know, I really like it when the CPU fights each other and just leaves me the fuck alone to let me do my thing when I'm not looking to brawl with anybody. All right, let's build an inn. Get some food production happening here. And we need to send this guy up to Akusa. And we will go ahead and send this missionary to the east. That's as far as that river goes inland. Okay. The locals have repurposed this ancient monolith as a burial site. Whatever its original use now stands as a sentinel over the departed. Take 150 science to excavate the monolith, or 150 culture to ask them what they think the monolith was.
The social pact ensures that men become equal by covenant and by right.
Johnny says I should have struck the deal. Johnny, I need the science, bro. Do you see how poor? Do you see how stupid my Vikings are, only producing 57 science a turn? I need science wherever I can get it. All right, society is done. Political philosophy does get us a settlement limit. It does get us a relic. We don't really need the relic. We should probably work towards social classes. Plus, we can also maybe build Breezewater Temple that helps us with our diplomacy efforts. All good news. All good news. All right. So one issue that we have now is that our ships have pretty much explored most of what they can get to easily. And now the rest of the exploration needs to be done on land. Which means that it would be wise of me to set up, to put a settlement somewhere over here. Or, because we're about to, these guys are about to become our vassal. We could instead incorporate them into our civilization. And problem there is I don't think I have enough influence, or I won't for a little bit, to do that. But I think that's the smarter way to do it. How much does it cost? It costs 480 influence. So that's still a number of turns away before we can have that as an option. But I think it is the most efficient way to get a foothold over on this continent. We shall see. Okay. That was easy. Oh, let's see here. Got our guild hall built. Fantastic. really need food in this settlement. Money is always helpful. Money is always helpful. Somebody got killed. Let's see here. We have our corporations. Who died? Who died? Ah, our ship died. That's unfortunate. We could not find land. All right, keep those treasure resources rolling. All right, we do have our suzerain bonus here. We took the extra culture on warehouse buildings. So this one now becomes a lot better because now I get +1 culture on temples in cities for each cultural city-state I'm suzerain of, which is now 2 of them. And we also will get a relic for our trouble as well. That's what we're going to do. And hey, look at that. We have unlocked our cultural golden age already for the next era. And we are not even halfway through this age. Let's do education. And in Knossos, we can build a kiln. That sounds like a great idea. We can even expand the city outward a little bit. Send this guy up the coast. And we'll send this guy here. We actually might go ahead and park him here. That actually is not a terrible idea. Protect our new vassal. All right, that'll take us to the next turn. So actually, you know what? We got our golden age. Oh, we're not done quite yet. Hang on. Oh, that's right. We got to spread more atheism to the people. The people yearn to give up their gods. Cool.
Wealth circulates like blood. All parts.
And we have our economics science unlocked as well because we stole that tech. Well, I'll tell you what, good place to leave off because, like I said, we did get our golden age locked up. We can now focus maybe on economics a little bit. We got some treasure fleets happening. Probably not science. I don't think science is happening for us. So I think we'll focus on economy. We'll get some settlements down here. Build some treasure fleets. Have them send in treasures back to the mainland to help bolster our pocketbook a little bit to supplement us for when we get to modern. But we're going to leave it here. So again, very excited about the changes that they talked about that are going to be coming to Civ 7. Looking forward to that, and looking forward to continuing the exploration era next time we sit down and do this. Dense Pixels being recorded tonight, so make sure you check that out. That'll be on YouTube and podcast apps wherever you get them. But if you watch during the stream, thank you very much for checking out the stream. If you're watching the VOD, thank you very much for watching the VOD. Always enjoy playing a little Civilization. But yeah, gonna call it here. That's it. Talk to you guys later. See you. Have a great night.